Hi, I'm Jared Thomas, and today I wanted to discuss two primary source documents that I found relating to the Constitutional Convention and the ratification of the Constitution in 1787. During the final days of the Constitutional Convention, Alexander Hamilton took to his pen in order to discuss some of the benefits to the proposed Constitution, as well as those who opposed it, and his speculation on the fate of the nation should a stable union not be created. Hamilton paints a picture of a nation that's built for the mutual benefit of its citizens, in which commerce is encouraged, the threat of domestic insurrection is curbed, and the nation is viewed as stable and strong by other countries. Hamilton describes the complaints of the men who dissented from the proposed Constitution and how they were focused on the potential for the loss of power, taxes, a stronger government, and their inability to cheat their creditors. Though he believes the proposed Constitution will be approved, Hamilton does go on to describe how he sees the fate of the country if an agreement is not reached. Hamilton demonstrates his strong belief that the new Constitution is the only means of salvation for the young nation, and he describes the country potentially falling into civil war, breaking up into smaller confederacies among the states, or even possibly becoming a part of Great Britain once again. Now, sometime later, once the convention had approved the Constitution and sent it to the states, there was a broadside posting that appeared in Boston in 1787. The broadside touted the issues that were inherent in the proposed plan. The author chose to remain nameless and simply signed with the pseudonym Truth, but they did present 13 disadvantages to federalism. Most of their concerns focused on the potential for an economic downturn in Boston because they thought that there was too much importance placed on Philadelphia. There were additional concerns of a much broader nature. Truth lists the concern that there would be a standing military that would be more of an outlet in order to provide jobs for affluent people. And they were also concerned that several freedoms would be in jeopardy, such as the freedom of press and religion, trial by jury, and the suspension of habeas corpus. Truth also noted that one of their concerns was the way in which representatives would be chosen and that it might create a business for life. While Hamilton does champion the inherent good he saw in a bigger, more powerful central government that would be better able to provide for the welfare of the nation, Truth obviously sees a clear and present danger lurking in the potential for that government to be run in such a manner as to quell the individual freedoms and liberties of the people. An interesting parallel lies in Hamilton's belief that the constitutional government will help to establish and protect stronger commerce in the country, while Truth fears that the damage the new government would cause to the business and community of Boston. The direct contrast between these two opposing views helps to demonstrate viewpoints between the Federalist and the Anti-Federalist camps of the day, and would really add a lot of value to a discussion on the emergence of political parties in the United States. Introducing students to opposing views of the time can provide a way to bring life to content that may otherwise be less than engaging. Allowing students to see how major events were viewed at the time through the lens of the people who actually lived then would help to involve the students in the action and make the topic real for the students. By including primary sources, there are additional benefits to the students' overall academic well-being. In an article written for the American Historical Association in 2012, Terry Epstein discussed the possibilities of pedagogy in preparing history teachers to help develop historical thinking in their students. Epstein states that students often do not understand how to properly utilize a primary source or how to even evaluate one. Incorporating primary source documents of Hamilton and Truth would provide a good pedagogical opportunity to teach students about evaluating primary sources, while also supporting their growth in informational literacy. Students would be tasked with providing a critical evaluation of the sources by examining the credibility of the authors, identifying potential bias, and how the author's perspectives may have driven their conclusions. I would want to remind students to remember our worldview principles, that a commitment to objectivity and honesty are an essential part of historical investigation. Finally, I would also ask that students identify ways in which each document could be used to support a research topic focusing on the ratification of the Constitution. An additional pedagogical use of these documents would be to ignite interest in the struggle for political power that America faced even in its infancy. In completing this activity, students would then be able to discuss how the concerns of the past are relevant to today by comparing them to modern political issues and thus making the course material much more applicable to their own lives. Presenting the evaluation and the research in a written format would further strengthen the students' ability to succeed in their progress towards the informational literacy competency. I believe that overall, including primary sources in the classroom and having students to explore and evaluate them is an absolutely wonderful benefit to their overall historical education. Thank you.